Chicken legs. Let's get it. Come on, here we go.
Friends, don't forget to like and subscribe. Always, people. Always.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Tommy Casabona. Tommy, come on out.
Hey, it's me. Look, what's going on? Hey, everybody. Yes, Wanda, correct. Thank you. Seeing it off the jump. You're just trying to make up for that mumble commentary. Listen, am I a mumbler? Like, what are we doing out here? I do kind of chime in a little bit when I start. I know I got a hot mic on here, so I just try to, pop in a little bit in the intro music. Is that the worst thing in the world? Do I got to get called a mumbler for that? But I do like it. I do agree with Wanda. If you don't mind, please hit the thumbs up on the way in. Holy crap. Raymond Leach has been away for a minute, huh? High production video. Not really, but I do appreciate the compliment. Let's say hi to some people that are out here. We got Wanda, as aforementioned, in the building. We got Jamie from Sharon at Sea. How are you, Jamie? Good to see you. Welcome. That's 2 weeks in a row. We are graced with royalty, and we appreciate it. You guys can call me Tuna Casserola all you want. I've never had a tuna casserole. Have you? Kay tried to make one once, and it was really shitty. This was like, she tells me about her tuna casserole. This is the big tuna casserole. She's made it since childhood, whatever. She left something out. I don't know. She left something out. We used to have when we used to have our big group parties back in the early 2000s. 20 of us would get together for a Sunday dinner, and it would be fun. What everybody would say to Kay is, Kay, bring the chips. Just bring the chips. That's all you got to do. We got Raymond in the building. Trevor, not New Balances. Yes, of course, New Balances. Were those the New Balances? Sometimes I rock the Asics. I forgot. I don't even know. Nautical Nurse Nancy is in the building. What's going on? Triple N, good to see you. Who else we got here? Carol's here. Carol and Sandy, shout out to you ladies. You guys are on a cruise right now. Not just any cruise. You guys are on the Carnival Celebration. A great job with your mission. You have done very, very well, ladies. Great job. And the tripleta. They got themselves a tripleta. Now, nobody super chatted yet, but because they actually had this experience, and this picture is the actual tripleta that they had today at a food truck. Super chat. Now, there wasn't any sound to that, was there? So we got to fix that, don't we? Uh-oh. Not ideal. Either way, so we have dinner, huh? We're at dinner. Sandy, let us know what we're eating. I know that you are at dinner. I know that you are on the Carnival Celebration. I know that you really, really enjoyed Chibang last night. Let us know what you're having today. Carol, yes. I know Sandy was drinking, Sandy was trying all these wacky, fancy drinks. She went to the old reliable, the Dirty Martini. Sandy, what kind of vodka did you have in there, by the way? Wanda says, I'm the only tuna casserola for her. I wouldn't want it any other way. That's right. Jacob and Savannah are in the building. How are you guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jacob and Savannah are going on Sky Princess next week. That's awesome. I still got to do it. Celebrity, Princess, Holland America. Hear what I said, Holland America? Never been on any of them, and I got to get there. I got to get there eventually. Grey Goose, that's the way to go. You guys, I want to know in the chat, if you got a drink of vodka, gun is to your head. I want to know, are you goosing or are you Tito's? Which one? Because I could tell you, I know Tito's is all the rage. Everybody talks about, oh, Tito's, Texas, gluten-free, whatever the F. But I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you, you put a taste test right next to each other, and you tell me Tito's is better than Grey Goose, I'm gonna say that's absolutely fine. You're entitled to your opinion, is what I'm really gonna say, but I don't agree. One vodka, okay? You want a little bit of a cheat code? One vodka that scores remarkably well on taste tests, blind taste tests, and you would never know it. Try this. It's cheap as hell, and I'm telling you, it works. Smirnoff Vodka. Old Faithful, old reliable, straight up, no flavor. Don't mess with those flavors. They'll kill you. But if you just do a Smirnoff tasting, you'll see that is a damn good vodka. Trevor is behind in the sound. Anybody else behind in the sound? Can we get a sound check from everybody? Tonight it's meatballs, fried mozzarella, pork chops, bitter and blanc. Oh, okay. Very, very nice. Listen, you're never going to go wrong with a meatball. You just can't. No matter what you do, no matter how you want to say or act like you can't go wrong with a meatball. Can't go wrong with a meatball. Agree, Celebrity and Princess is on my list. Trev, you haven't done any of them either. I know we kind of roll around and slum around on the mass market cruise lines. I don't know. A lot of times, what do you guys think? It's just like always that big conundrum. If it ain't broke, don't fix it versus, hey, try some new things. That's always a age-old conundrum. What can we say? Sandra wants to know what else you should have tonight. Sandy, listen, you overcomplicate your drinking, in my opinion. Okay, what I think you should do, in my opinion, is just stick to your Grey Goose and your everybody wants to try this drink, try that drink. It's the quickest way to A, get less alcohol, first of all, and B, clutter your stomach up with all these ingredients that it may or may not want at the same time, in my opinion. Belvedere, is that nautical nurse Nancy trying to say Belvedere? Is that what that is? No Tito's, goose or Kettle One. Jamie says goose or Kettle One. Yes, Kettle One is fine. Belvedere is fine. These are the three vodkas that really hit their peak in the late 90s, early 2000s, and we should have just stayed with them. In my opinion, we were good. We don't need the Tito's and all that other stuff. Raymond's trying Princess for the first time to Alaska in September. I hear that's beautiful. Another thing, Princess and Alaska, two things I haven't done, I have no interest in doing, but I'm told that I absolutely should. So by default, I kind of want to. Trevor says Grey Goose. Taste buds, though? Do you have taste buds, Wanda? What does that mean? Shout out to Lisa. Lisa is in the building. Lisa, we got your transfer over done. Thank you so much, Lisa, for the transfer over to the Always Be Booked travel agency. Means the world to me. We got that done. You're in good hands, Lisa. Sound is on point. Jamie says, Jamie, thank you for the information on that. Raymond says, Smirnoff and beer mixed together is... What did you just say, Raymond? Raymond, what did you say? Now, you could do that. Don't they kind of call that, if you're doing Bloody Mary mix, isn't that a michelada? Isn't a michelada a Bloody Mary but with some beer added to it, if I'm not mistaken? That's the only way I would try what you just said, Raymond. Otherwise, that's terrifying what you just said. Smirnoff and beer together? I don't know. So Sandy says the ship is rocking. Sandy will not stop complaining about that cruise ship. I'm kidding, Sandy. I'm only kidding. I know you're not. It's fun when it rocks a little bit. I prefer the bobbing up and down rather than the listing, but I'm not opposed to a good just like the Norwegian. The Breakaway was rocking a little bit, wasn't it? We were technically, I looked it up in Cruise Mapper. We were technically in rough seas for a period of time on the Vloggers Extravaganza. Bubba's in the building. Bubba, how are you today? Thank you so much for the clarification. Thank you so much. If you haven't heard the Always Be Booked Cruise podcast, anywhere you like to listen to cruise podcast, you listen to last week's, you'll hear the recap of Bubba's crazy story where he brought a possible love interest on the ship with him, and then we got the conclusion of that. Spicy martini at the Alchemy Bar for Sandra. That's what Wanda is saying. Yeah, spicy martinis are really, really good. You know what I like too? I like the cucumber. I'm a fan of the cucumber martinis that they do in the Alchemy Bar. There is nothing wrong with Trevor's behind. Who would argue with that? Did you guys see the thumbnail? Did you catch the hidden joke within the thumbnail? Nobody said it yet. Dictation was broken there. Oh, Nautical Nurse Nancy, you're dictating. I still haven't figured that stuff. I don't trust the dictating things because I don't know what my algorithm in my phone text is going to come out with if they do get it wrong. They may come with something wacky. I have an example of that. I'll remember it and tell it later. Yes, cruising for food. Wanda and Sandy are fast becoming twins. We may call them the meatballs. Is that what you guys were referring to before? I was thinking you were talking about what you were eating, but we do have the meatballs. And I think, Carol, we could throw that in there. We could do. There's no rule that says we can't do a three-way meatball call. Where is Scott? You're right. I don't know where Scott is. Usually you'll see Scott. Maybe he'll pop in at some point. We have no idea. Ladies and gentlemen, the cruising diva is in the building. Tiffany. Hello, Tiffany. Tiffany and I spoke recently. Tiffany, tell the people what you think of Norwegian Cruise Line. Tiffany is, I would say, she does not suffer fools lightly when it comes to cruise ships and cruising as a whole. And she has a few things to say, and she has a few, I would say, issues with Norwegian that is going to cause her to take a little bit of a break from Norwegian, much to our, I guess, I can't find the word. Much to the delight of us, because that is causing her and driving her to try Carnival, and she will be on the Pirates and Pier Runners group cruise, which is pushing 30 people at this point. Yes, Scott very well could be getting his console ready. Scott could be stretching out. He could have Kara at the kitchen table throwing practice quiz questions at him. You never know what's going on with Scott. Sandy loves this ship. AJ is in the building. He's going to stick with his Whistling Pig Rye that John from the Ship Show got him into. Have you had those, what is it called? The, not Henderson's. What's the freaking, I forgot the name. Forget it. Michelada is a beer with Clamato, I think. Yes, that sounds right. But it sort of like has some of the properties of a Bloody Mary. Meatballs as the appetizer. Sandy is a meatball. She's eating meatballs. And I say meatballs in the most endearing possible way, because that is a very, very, it's a very, intimate club that you are in when we're talking about the meatballs. Tiffany has Kraken rum and diet. That's your favorite? Kraken rum, huh? So Kraken, I used to make fun of Sherry from Cruise Tips TV because she told me about Kraken. You know what? You freaking California people, that's what it's got to be. If we're going to drink spiced rum on the East Coast, we're not going away from Captain Morgan. I mean, I get it. It's old and maybe Kraken's new and hot and whatever. But this is the second time I've heard somebody say that they drink Kraken, and they're both on the West damn coast. Let me know. Trevor, you're drinking a Rusty Nail? That is Scotch and Drambuie, isn't it? Imagine that. Imagine drinking just Scotch and Drambuie. That is what a Rusty Nail is, right, Trev? Tiffany reiterates, I am so done with NCL. Sandra says she's going to try all of these later. Sandy, give us an update. How many drinks left do you have on the drink package for tonight? Carol says she has meatballs, salad, and mac and cheese for dinner. That's absolutely delectable. Dinner of champions, Carol. Dinner of champions. Tiffany Gore, NCL is the line that nickels and dimes. But I don't think it's nickels and dimes anymore. I think they quarter and dollar you now. I think they've graduated from the nickel and diming, and then just they're hitting you over the head with a manhole cover-sized coin that is going to just separate you from your money. All right, hold on. This is breaking news here. We have a little bit of breaking news, and I want everybody to take a seat when I read this off, right? Everybody calm down. I'm going to say this, and don't panic. Don't freak out, because this is true right now. Breaking news from the Always Be Booked live stream, Trivia Wednesday. Are you ready? Wanda has never had pork chops on a cruise, ladies and gentlemen. I said it. I said it. I meant it. It is what it is. It's out there now. Sometimes it helps just to say it out loud. Bubba says, I have not been on NCL since they cut out lobster like a decade ago. Wow, big lobster guys. Now, would that be a reason? Is that a full-on reason to protest the cruise line? Because I'm with you about Norwegian in a lot of different ways. You know what you're going to have to do as a cruise line to get me to swear you off? I'm not as strict as maybe the cruising diva is. I'm not as strict as maybe Bubba is. But is the termination of lobster, is that enough to keep you from cruising on a cruise line? Trev, I'll take that. Trev, I'm in the same boat as you are with that. No rush to get back on NCL. Correct. I'm with you on that. But to hardcore protest. Jamie from Sharon at Sea Travel says that Whistle Pig is good stuff. Absolutely. I've never had it. I'm still trying to remember. It almost came in. My mind is like a steel trap. If something's in it, it's in it. But if it's out, it can't get back in for a while. It's got to wait in line and step behind everybody else who's trying to get back into this thick skull. It eventually makes it in, but I'll yell it out in a little while. Raymond Leach, did you see the owl that flew into real? Raymond, you don't listen to the show, man. Are you not listening to the show? I'm kidding. You'll get to it. I know you will. But yes, we covered the owl, and you'll hear more about that owl later. Kraken is pretty good, Trev. Trev, that is I respect for you to admit that a spiced rum, as a whiskey and cigar guy like yourself, like a man's man of yourself, is going to give the nod to a spiced rum, especially a new-aged spiced rum as well. And maybe it's not even new anymore. It's probably 10, 15 years old at this point, right? I just know when I saw the marketing for it start coming out. Sandra and I were talking about Wanda, are Snooki and JWoww. Okay, then Carol's got to be who? Okay, then Carol is going to be Dina. You got to figure out who Carol is. Stephanie is in the building. Stephanie, she's another West Coaster. She's about to find love in the Always Be Booked community. But Stephanie, what do you think about Kraken as far as rum? Do you enjoy that cocktail? Lisa says, first person to tell me about Kraken was from Vancouver, so that's another West Coaster. So they did a lot on the West Coast when it comes to Kraken. I got a little side note for you. When I lived in Arizona, when I lived in Phoenix, I lived in Tempe, but I worked in downtown Phoenix. There was only Heineken at this time. This was 2004, and there was only Heineken. That was the only. If somebody wanted Heineken Light, I told them try Amstel Light. I have no idea if that was right or not, but I had a friend who also lived in Arizona who I grew up with, but I didn't know he was out there until I found out he was one of the biggest beer distributors for whatever company he was working for. He told me he would give me $20,000 in POS money, $20,000 in sponsorship money for the bar that I worked for was called Sliders. It's directly across from Chase Field. It was Bank One Ballpark back then. And then he basically said they're trying to launch a product called Heineken Light. And if we were to hit a certain number of sales, we would get that $20,000. And we did. I turned the whole bar into a Heineken Light green room. We took our beer tub girls. We gave it out for free. And then the rest is history. And now every bar has Heineken Light. Sandra has 8 more drinks today. That's cool. There you go. Sandra just bursted out laughing. Wait, hold on. What did she say? I missed it. Meatballs is a classic movie as well. Good call, Jamie. I'm trying to find the Sandy comment. I missed it. I think the dream is over. Rum used to be Trevor's favorite, but then he switched to Scotch and bourbon because of no mix. Raymond only listens to the Patreon these days. I skip the regular shows. Well, that hurts a little bit. But it hurts less because you're a Patreon. I'm just kidding. I'm glad that you're a Patreon, Raymond. I'm happy to have you there. Look at that moon. Holy crap. A light was just beaming through the freaking blinds, and it's the freaking moon. Wow. Lately, it's been 12. Charles Hahn in the building. Lately, it's been 12-year Glenlivet and water. I've never really dove into the Scotch realm too much. The most I will do with Scotch is I will have a Johnny Blue neat. Not because I'm a connoisseur, not because I like the smoky flavor of it. It provides a smoothness that's unprecedented to me as far as most of the Scotches that I've had. But I'm a basic guy when it comes to the bourbon too. I just go straight bullet, or I do enjoy Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace is new. You guys, Trev, you and John have shown me the way with Buffalo Trace, and I started doing that a little bit, and I started enjoying that. Bubba says, I got an offer now with Carnival for a free Cheers package, non-casino. It's the first time I've seen that one. A lot of options for which cruise. That might be because they understand who you were cruising with last time, and they realize that, listen, we can't have that type of selfishness going on a cruise. And to make up for the selfish cabin mate that you did have, we're going to offer you complimentary cocktails. And if you want to hear more about that and what we were selfish about, check out the Always Be Booked Cruise podcast, anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcast. If you guys wouldn't mind, it would be a huge help for me if you're not subscribed to this channel to do a little bit of a subscription. I'm trying to make my next milestone, I would say, is 5,000. Well, far away from that. I'm not even halfway there. But who's going to make a big deal out of 3,000, 4,000, whatever? Once you hit 2,000, I guess, yeah, you celebrate the whole numbers, the thousands, but I really got to get to 5,000. We got to make a move here. We got to do it. I'm working on this Norwegian versus Royal Caribbean, the Breakaway versus the Freedom of the Seas video. It's been a freaking war zone. I'm not lying to you guys. This is a war zone. The video is going to come out, and you're going to see the video, how freaking exhausted I am. Because of this process. It's taken me probably close to 9 hours sitting in this chair trying to pull this video off. Editing, cutting, scratching, all that stuff. Scotch, yeah, I like my Scotch meat as well. Neat, got it. I booked a Havana balcony on the Celebration. Did you experience the Havana deck? No, I did see it. Jacob in Savannah, I did see the Havana deck. I've toured it. I've walked around it. It does look cool. It's an interesting. I love that type of stuff. Anytime a cruise ship is going to do something a little bit different than from what you're used to, that's why I like the inside-facing, the neighborhood-facing balconies on Royal Caribbean. I prefer them over the ocean view. I know it's a little weird, but I like the idea of a Havana balcony where you're kind of sitting front porch style. You could sit in the chair, watch the world go by, and although I do love the ocean, you know what I mean? I love looking at the ocean. The problem is it just doesn't change. It just, just doesn't change. Ocean. I like to see other stuff too. Mike D in the building says, been liking the increased YouTube podcast activity. Sorry I missed you on Vloggers Cruise. I didn't know what you look like. Well, now you do, and I'm sorry. Here we are. This is what we got. This is all we could do. But thank you for watching. Yeah, I started doing the podcast on video form too. That's just from the advice of so many people. If I continue to get 12 and 13 views on each one, I'm going to stop doing it. But everybody said, do a video version of your podcast. Put your podcast on a video. And I did make a different channel for it. And for the people who are wondering why, it's because I am told if people don't watch that whole thing, that could screw up the algorithm for your regular YouTube channel. So I do have a video version of the podcast. It's on Always Be Booked Cruise Podcast is the name of that YouTube channel. Raymond says, I need to say you were very good on script when you did the cruise. By the way, Raymond, I did write the script, okay? So I do appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much, and I do appreciate you saying that. Oh, it's good. You're still listening to Cruise Radio, but you're not listening to the Always Be Booked podcast. I think you're missing out, Raymond, by the way. And I'm glad. Don't stay with the Patreon. Don't go anywhere. But the Always Be Booked Cruise podcast, I listened back today to the show I put on today. There's a couple of mistakes that I do make and a couple of things that I have to clean up and fix on my podcast that I am fully realizing, and I will do that. That's the issue that I have. That's what I wonder. Like, all the promotion I do get and all the boosts that I get, I was on Tony's show recently. I was on Doug's show recently, although there was no real promotional value out of that. On Doug's, I didn't necessarily ask for it or want it at all. I just was happy to be on the show. I'm still not at 100% with this podcast. I listen and I know that where the improvement needs to happen on the podcast, and I got to work harder at being perfect. I got to be better. Yeah, hitting the like button is a big help as well. Trevor says he has too many bottles of bourbon and scotch. Trevor, I've seen your collection. It's a lot. It's intimidating. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Absolutely. If it doesn't inconvenience you too much, it's very helpful if you do hit the like button as well. Sandra, I tasted the Kraken this morning and it was pretty good. The Kraken. Like when Havana was in the aft. Wait. Oh, Trev, I know what you're saying. See, Being a non-Havana guy, I don't. I love the fact that they moved it, only because I'm not really a participator. I've never, as much as I thought it was cool, and I do think it's cool that they have that concept. Me personally, I'm not a ship within a ship guy. I cruise because I want to be amongst the people. I want to be around the people. I want to mix it up with the people. And I don't want to pay extra to be away from the people. Stephanie was a Jersey Shore girl. And if you think anybody's shocked about that, you're wrong. I like a rum. I'll try it in my next cruise. A spiced rum. Regular rum. You have the regular rum, Bacardi. What else? Different types of rum. Then you'll have the dark rum, which is like Myers. But then you'll have spiced rum, which is a little bit sweeter, has a little bit more flavor, a little bit less on the alcohol content. And that's your Captain Morgan. And apparently it's your Kraken, too, from what I hear. Do a video, they said. Steve from Seattle. Yes, Steve, Seattle, 100%. But let's see. We'll see where it goes. I just started doing it, so we'll see. Maybe it'll work out. Flor de Cana rum lately. Wanda says, see, Wanda's a connoisseur, though. That's why she said cruising for food. I remember when I watched you do that one. Wanda, you should do you should do a wine course. You talk a lot about the wine on your show, on your channel. I would really get a lot, personally, being a novice when it comes to wine. If you just had a bunch of bottles laid out and you told me which was each, this is, and that's crazy, right? I'm a restaurant manager. Yeah, I just never got into the wine. I always had people that would help me out and tell me about the wine. Trevor is a super cone. You are absolutely right, Trevor. It's so good to have you in the world of the super cone hood. You are. I'm sorry. Wait, are you a super cone, Trev? Are you a super cone or are you a mega cone? Because there's not too many super cones out there anymore. I gotta check. Did you mistake and say you're a super cone when you're really a mega cone? Charles, I could see that being a problem, why a lot of people wouldn't like it. I'm just not a very private guy. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with the lack of privacy, but I do understand what you're saying, and a lot of people probably don't love that too. Jacob in Savannah, that is a horrible, horrible comment. I am not going to repeat that. I am not going to give that. Listen, I have to say thank you, but I cannot sign off on a comment like that, Jacob in Savannah. Mike D says that the show with Tony was good. I didn't feel like I did great on that one. I don't feel like I did great. I am hard on myself. I do think I did okay. I don't think I shit the bed completely. It wasn't a total disaster, but I could have been better. Raymond said you will listen this weekend. Anything to help boost the numbers. Raymond, whatever you want to do. I appreciate you being here right now, and I appreciate you being. You're paying the cost. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You are doing more than a lot of people are to help these little podcasts, this little YouTube channel that could. Sandra was a Paulie D lady. Wait, so what was Steph? I didn't see that. Oh, you like the situation? First of all, ladies, are you going to tell me you actually like these guys? Of course, yes. If you're going to go just physical and their appearance, yes, they're in shape fellas, Mediterranean skinned, handsome, in shape fellas. But are you going to tell me you could actually date any of those people? Is that what you are going to tell me? Please, let me know. I want to hear. Tony and Steph. Sandy and Steph. Why did I call you Tony? Yep, losing it. Gone. Colin with 1L wants to get the trivia going. Yes, I will always and will continue to wait until somebody says, can we get the trivia going? Yes, let's get the trivia going. What time is it? Are we, it's 8:35. Holy crap. If anybody does have any intel on the ship show and when we think they're going to start, please let me know. I guess we should get into the trivia, especially since Scott is not here, because I know, not that we don't miss Scott, we absolutely miss Scott, but at the same time, people are probably chomping at the bits to try to get an opportunity to win this thing now that he's not around. All right. Wanda's going to take sommelier classes. That's cool. I could totally see that. You'd be very, very good at that. And, that could be like a little bit of a side hustle for you. I would hire you. I would hire a part-time sommelier to come in and be on the floor at the restaurant on Fridays and Saturday nights, the busier times. Luna, thank you so much. Luna discovered this podcast through the show with Tony, and I absolutely appreciate that. That's awesome to know. Thank you for saying that. And I don't think I was horrible. I just think, there's always room for improvement, and I'm going to continue to challenge myself and get better and be a little bit more critical. That's probably part of what my issue was, is that I'm just kind of like floating along here. I'm not necessarily fine-tuning the craft. I have to do that. Sandy said she would have dated them when she was in her 30s. Yeah, but I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about you when you're in your 30s. 30s is a little rough. I would say 20s maybe. 20s I would go for some of that stuff if I was if I would expect that from a young lady. Stephanie says, no, I would date him. No, but he's hot AF. She would not. Would I date him? No, but he is hot AF. When a guy like the Situation starts talking to you, though, no, there's nothing. I was gonna say you don't dry up a little bit from that freaking. I mean, he's a clown. He's a full-on clown. But hey, who am I to judge? All right, let's do it. Let's get in. Yes. Wanda says, welcome, Luna. Welcome, Luna, 100%. Let's put this up here first. And then we'll get into the competition. So let's do it. All right. Are we ready for question number? Let's go here, though. Wait, hold on. I don't want to get in the way if we have a question that's going to override that logo there. Name the churrascaria on board Norwegian cruise ships. Name the churrascaria on board cruise ships, Norwegian cruise ships. Big welcome to TX Pepito. Tiffany, the cruising diva, is on the board first. She's got answer number 1. Moderno. Tiffany answered it twice. She's right either way. She answered it, is it a third time? She answered it a third time. She's right. We're going to give it to you. Moderno, you understand it. Lisa said she forgot the name of it, but the food was awesome. I would love to take the food was awesome as an answer, but I'm not able to. Wanda got it. She's a little bit late. Mike D got it a little bit late. Trevor, Trev, just sit back and enjoy. Pour yourself something. Pour yourself something nice and strong. Light up a cigar and enjoy the show. I don't know. This the trivia has been a badge of honor for you to be bad at, hasn't it? Moderna, they stopped coming to my table. Yeah, guys like me and you, Tex, me and you, and a few other people around the cruising community. We're their worst nightmare. When I walk into let's call it a Fogo de Chao or a Texas de Brazil, they see me coming and like, oh no, we're gonna be in the red tonight. That did start quick. It started quick, Jamie. It started quick. What do you mean? It's late. It's like 8:40. But I do assume you mean that people are answering too quick. It reloaded. Chick-fil-A. Trevor, here we go. That's the Trevor I know. Fast food and answers. Wanda says she might have a slight delay. Yeah, refresh it. If you have a slight delay, don't hesitate to hit the refresh. All right. Question number 2. If I am in an establishment called Tijuana, which port am I at? If I am at an establishment, whether I'm eating or drinking, and it's called Tijuana, it's right by the cruise ship. It's right by the terminal. It's an establishment called Tijuana. Which establishment am I at? Yeah, Wanda, that's a pretty good sign that you're a little off. Tiff, that's not the answer I have. That's not the correct answer. Jason, that is not the correct answer. Ladies and gentlemen, Sandy is on the board. Sandy is on the board. San Juan is the answer. Now, we got a couple of people answering Cozumel. Jason saying Cozumel. Jamie from Sharon at Sea Travel is saying Cozumel. Now, I don't know if that's true. I got to get confirmation on that. Trev, Chipotle is so close. That answer is, Trev, you have no idea. You couldn't have gotten closer if you tried with that answer, but you were just wrong a little bit. Wanda, don't count yourself out. You may win. The answer that I got is San Juan. If I am wrong, this is like baseball. You know what I mean? Well, nowadays a little bit less. Used to be if an umpire made a bad call, the call still stood. I'm going to stick by my answer being San Juan and Sandy getting it right. I am going to retroactively look and see if there is a Tijuana in Cozumel or if there's a Tijuana in San Diego. And at that point, I will make the correction. Sandy is eating a pork chop and answering trivia. Take that, Scott. That's true. That's true. It's a good point. Well, Trevor's going to be answering like that the whole time, so you're going to love all of Trevor's answers, Wanda. All right, we're going to go over to question number 3. I don't know where Scott is. I have no idea. He did not report to me today, but he is not in the building right now. All right, here we go. Name the first non-Carnival cruise ship that I was ever on. Wait, that's last week's question. Stop this question right now. Don't answer it. This is a repeat of last week's question. It did not change. Something happened with the algorithm that caused this question to still be here from last week. I will ask another question in its place. Please disregard this question. Let's X out of it. The question is, are we ready? Are we ready? Yes, you guys are answering correctly, but that is not the question because I messed it up. Tex Pepito, you might be right. You know what I mean? As far as this being rigged, I'm not trying to throw anybody off here, but this was a mistake. I'm going to do a substitute question right now. So Margaritaville at Sea, Bahama Paradise Cruise Line, we're going to throw that out. We're going to pretend that that's not an actual cruise line for this. Since the other question was about myself and my travels, I'm going to replace it with a question that's also about myself and my travels. Which non-Bahama Paradise or Margaritaville at Sea cruise line was my first venture into non-Big Three? The first cruise ship that I was on that was not a Big Three cruise line. Question number 3. What was the first cruise line that I was on that was not a Big Three cruise ship or cruise line? The Casserola of the Seas. How about that? I'm into the Casserola of the Seas. I'm watching this because I am seeing. Trev, you got to get new names though. You got to keep it fresh. You've used White Castle many times. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ is on the board with Virgin Voyages. My first Fourier, how do you say that word? Fourier. My first Fourier is into non-Big Three cruising was with Virgin Voyages, and AJ happened to know that. Great call. Tiffany knew it as well. She was a little bit late. Staten Island Ferry. Jamie, I know you have definitely spent some time on the Staten Island Ferry. I used to do that, if believe it or not, my manager meetings when I would be running a couple of different restaurants and I would want to do multi-unit manager meetings with all my GMs. I would sometimes do that on the Staten Island Ferry, just as a way to maybe have a couple of drinks, beforehand, and then we'll just take a little boat ride back and forth, and then we'll do the manager meeting on the ferry. I've done that multiple times. Virgin Voyages, Tiffany got it right, but AJ was a little quicker. Congratulations, AJ is on the board chip. Party on the Sea, what's going on? Welcome. So good to have you here. Finally good to see you. And yes, it was absolutely absolutely great meeting you on the Bloggers Cruise. The Vloggers Cruise. Why did I call it the Vloggers Cruise? Foray? Hip hip foray? All right, let's go. We're going into the next question. Next question is question number 4. Hopefully it's right and it's switched properly. Name the most popular port in Italy. There is a port of call in Italy that is the most popular port. Let's see if you guys can get it. The most popular port in Italy, go. This should be an easy one. It's not easy if you're going to say the real name. You know what I mean? We don't want to see the adjacent name. I'm looking for the actual name of the actual port, and that's what we're looking for on this one. Trev, you can say Canadian fast food places. You know, who are we to say that they're not true? Ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany is on the board again. She's got her second answer correct. Civitavecchia, and if you know anything about the Always Be Booked Cruise podcast, it is also one of my favorite cruise ship ports to say. Venice is close. It's funny trying to watch people try to spell this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a late arrival. Is this like a head start thing? Scott is in the building. Welcome, Scott. Scott, are you doing the thing where you're going to try to enter into the chat late so as to really show off and win at the end? Either way, welcome, Scott. Great to have you here. Yeah, I wouldn't have held it to the spelling. But either way, Tiffany, the cruising diva, who has had absolutely enough of Norwegian, has won that round. All right. Number four. Question number 5, I should say. This is question number 5. I am the second ship ever to be fitted with the North Star attraction. Which ship am I? I am the second ever cruise ship to be fitted with, like I said at Philadelphia style, like whiz wit, the North Star attraction. Which ship am I? Scott is in the building. Just got home from work. Please hold. Yes, everybody hold. Scott just got home from work. AJ was right. I know what you meant, AJ. Mike D was right. So many people were right. It was just a little behind. The diva beat a lot of people to the punch. Luna says the stream is delayed. I do apologize about that. I wish there was more I could do about that scenario. Spectrum is not correct. Sorry, Cruising Diva. Close, very close. Ovation is not correct. Ladies and gentlemen, Luna is late and Luna is right. Luna is correct when she says Anthem of the Seas is the second ship ever to be fitted with the beautiful, glorious, and height-defying North Star. All right. We're going to continue on here. Quantum was first, Tiff. It was Quantum, Anthem, and then Ovation. Jeremy got it right as well. Anthem. I hope. The Naughty Cruiser is in the building. He's late. Don't sue me. Just got done work. Mike, I'm sorry, man. I do regret to tell you this. I spoke to my lawyer. The complaint has already been filed. You are being sued. You're being sued for being late. And if I can go back on it and do it again and not have you get sued, I would. If I could reverse it, but the paperwork was already filed. It was submitted to the judge because you were late. If you were going to be late, you should have just told me, hey, I'm going to be a little bit late. I would have told the lawyers, hold off on the paperwork. Nothing we can do about it now. All right. We're going into number... Wait, Scott won that? Hold on. Just got home from work. Scott got it. I don't know why some of these chats are in yellow and some of them are in black. I can't figure it out. I don't know why. But I guess, Scott, you were blacked out on that one. So, all right, that's got to go to Scott. You're right. Luna, and give Luna some credit for honesty right here. Yes, tomorrow Sandy is going to, and we'll create a monster here with this, but we'll say it, Ball Bag Beach, and that's what it is. All right, let's get into number 6. Number 6. What is the name of the ship that has a pub called the Pig and Whistle? There's a pub. We know about the bourbon called Pig and Whistle, but what is the pub on a cruise ship? Which is the cruise ship that has the pub, the Pig and Whistle? This is probably one of the tougher ones for tonight. Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow. Yeah, I was in Pittsburgh when that got released. And by the way, Wiz Khalifa's DJ is a friend of mine. Ow, my feet dropping names. I don't like about Wiz Khalifa, he had that song Black and Yellow, and it took Pittsburgh by storm because he's from Pittsburgh, right? Listen up. Hear me out on this. He makes this big song. He's a Pittsburgh native, Black and Yellow, put it out there, sing it from the rooftops, takes over Pittsburgh. The minute the Cowboys call with them boys, he makes a song for the freaking Cowboys. That's really being money hungry. Mardi Gras, no. Walkbox, Trevor, that was close. Definitely close. Navigator of the Seas, Jamie, even closer. Voyager, no. Splendor, no. Voyager, no. Cruise ship with a restaurant called Pig and Whistle. Tiffany realized very, very shrewdly that people weren't getting it, so she did have enough time to go to the internet and look it up, and you got to give her credit for that. Tiffany's got 3. Great job. Great job. Alfred, no, it's Independence. It is Independence. Question number 7. Name the concept on Norwegian Prima that is meant to replace, in essence, the buffet. There is a new food concept on the Norwegian Prima that has kind of taken the place of the traditional buffet. Which is that? Oh boy. Tiffany has gotten it again. Tiffany got it again. She's 4 up. It is the marketplace. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's what Scott said. It is the food hall. The food hall is the answer. Okay, so we're gonna stop here, and what we're gonna do is we're going to probably take a point away from Tiffany. No, yeah. Okay. So we'll take a point away from Tiffany because if everybody's saying that there is definitely a Pig and Whistle on Voyager as well, I have to go back and see who got that first. If somebody can look up that for me and let me know who said the Voyager first. Well, the Voyager might have it, but the Independence has it as well, if I'm not mistaken. Scott said it's Voyager. Who got it first? So you guys tell me who got it first. Guys, we're not telling you. I'm not out here telling you that sometimes this is not a disaster because it is a little bit. It's why it's all for fun. I'm going to wait. Before I go to the next question, I'm going to get an answer from you because I know you guys are honest. Which is the first one? Because I don't know. It says Independence. When I looked it up, it said Independence. If you're telling me it was Voyager and I got either bad info or they both have Pig and Whistle on them, that's very possible. So let me know. Nickel and Dime Market Hall. That's freaking funny, Tex. TX Pepito is on the board. Tiffany guest on Independence. What's up, Tommy? Just got Brandon is in the building. What's up, Tommy? Just got home from work. Not to throw off the trivia. You see the transatlantic of the Luminosa? I got a 22-day deal for a $100 balcony. I wish I could do it. Isn't that crazy? I don't know what's going on with these Carnival Parmesan ships and why are they selling for so cheap? I guess people are not booking them right away or whatever the heck they're doing. But it's crazy because I got a 12-day for $500 for 2 people. So you got $100 for a balcony. Is that for just you, or is that for 2 people? Scott definitely looked it up and said they both have it, so that's good to know. But I appreciate you guys holding up the integrity of the game, doing some teamwork, and finding out that TX Pepito was the actual correct answerer on that particular question. That is a crazy deal. Crazy deal, but you could find them here and there. For some reason, certain sailings are just like, it's crazy. It's nuts. All right, question number 8. If I was on a cruise ship and I'm in a venue called Nick and Nora's, what ship am I on? This one I know. Don't play with me with this one, okay? Don't come at me with this one. If I was on a cruise ship and I am in a venue called Nick and Nora's, what cruise ship am I on? So you get to a certain point in an iced coffee. This is where you get the itch because it looks a little like bourbon. You know what I mean? The little coffee dilution. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ is on the board again. That's 2. AJ, you are within. AJ, you could tie for the championship this week if you get this next answer right. The correct answer is the Miracle. Scott got it. AJ got it. Tiffany, you were off a little bit. Tiffany is clearly guessing at some of these, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Trevor said the Jolly Bees. All right, here we go. This is it. Jamie got it as well. Jamie was correct. It's cool on the Miracle. All the venues on the Miracle are named after fictional characters or fictional narratives. Question number 9. We're going into question number 9. What is the name of the nightclub on board Virgin Voyages cruise ships? Virgin Voyages across the board, they have a nightclub on their ships, and it's named a particular name. What is it? PHX got it as well, knew it was the Miracle. Luna knew it was the Miracle. Let's get it here. What is the name of the nightclub on board Virgin Voyages cruise ships? Ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany got it. Tiffany hit the number 4 spot. She's back on the board because of the fact that she got a point taken away. I am sorry. It just happens sometimes based on inaccuracies in the judging. But she got it right back, and she answered correctly with the manner. The bump and grind is what goes on in there, PHX. That's what happens in the building. But the name of the actual nightclub scenario on the Virgin Voyage cruise ships is the Manor. Nice little name for it. It's the Bow Chicka Bow Wow room. No, Wanda, that is your stateroom. If you had Wanda's stateroom, you'd be correct in the question. What is the Bow Chicka Wow room on the cruise ship? Ball bag and a dress room. Scott, you were on the Virgin Voyages cruise. You had some interesting experiences. Scott wanted me to tell everybody that his favorite part of the Virgin Voyages cruise that he enjoyed when he went on it, he really got a lot out of that drag brunch. And yes, there is a champagne room, and yes, Scott was in it. Jeremy Pippin says gay club, very imaginative right there. Ray's boom boom room, Wanda's stateroom, exactly. Steph, you know your stateroom might be right next to that one. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. I think it is close. No, never mind. All right. We're moving on. We're going to question number 10. Now, this is the final question. Here we go. Scott, that's what you told me. You told me you really enjoyed, and you said it wasn't like in a gay way. You just really, really enjoyed the brunch, the drag brunch. Didn't you say that? Or was I mistaken? You didn't say that. All right. Question number 10. What did I name the burrowing owl that got caught on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line ship? If you listened to the show, you heard this one. You had to listen to the Always Be Booked Cruise podcast or checked out the Facebook group. What did I name the burrowing owl? I gave the burrowing owl a name. What was the name that I gave the burrowing owl on Symphony of the Seas? Tiffany wraps it up. She got it on point. The burrowing owl's name is Rusty. Rusty the burrowing owl. Great job. Stephanie got it as well. Yes, Wanda does love a good brag brunch. A drag brunch. That's a tough thing to say. What's going on, Jeremy? Jeremy's in the house. Hooter's a great name, though, Jamie. I like that. Hooter Casserola. Moist ball bags. See, Scott just comes in hot with moist ball bags. You can't go wrong with it. Wanda, me too. Come and sail VV with... yes, Wanda. Stephanie is sailing out on Virgin Voyages out of the West Coast. AJ got it right. Was a little bit late. West Coast on Virgin Voyages. I got to say, Stephanie on a cruise is probably a fun time. I would say if you found yourself on a cruise with Stephanie, I'd probably say you're probably in for a fun, nice night out, days out, whatever it is. I got FOMO now. You guys are all booked on these freaking these New Year's Eve cruises. I got to get on a New Year's Eve cruise. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a big congratulations to Tiffany. Tiffany did a great job, and she won. She won. She killed it. The Cruising Diva is living up to her name. The Cruising Diva. Great, great, great job. All right, let's get into some general stuff here. Who's got anything else? Who's cruising next? Where are we going next? Let me see. Hold on. Scott's being a little silly. That's fine. We understand. That's fun. It's fun to be silly sometimes. Wait, I thought it was West Coast. I thought it was out of California, because I thought it was on the Valiant or something. No. Trevor, hashtag probably a good time. Virgin Voyages is definitely a great cruise. I enjoyed the Scarlet Lady, as did I. PHX, I loved it too. I'm hoping they make it. We talk a lot about whether or not we think the Virgin Voyage line or brand is going to make it long term. I hope they do. Jamie, thanks for joining us. Great night to you too as well. It was good having you here. Great time, and I appreciate you stopping by. Yes, New Year's Eve cruise, that has to be really fun. That has to be almost like a theme cruise in a way, just getting out there on the sea in 3, 2, 1, boom, and the fireworks, whatever. Watch the ball drop at sea. I definitely want to try. Wanda says, if we can get Sandra, Carol, and Tommy on your cruise, I will switch Stephanie Nealon. No, none of that's going to happen. Wanda, I'm not completely out yet now that I know it's on the East Coast. I thought it was on the West Coast. Sandy's not doing it. There's no way Sandy's doing it. There's a lot going on. All right, yeah, Ship Show is next, by the way, guys. Check out the Ship Show on YouTube. I think we should probably, I don't know what time it's going to start tonight, but I think he's been getting a little bit better at starting close to on time. And you know what? Maybe it's good to get a little bit of a break in between. Go get a glass of water. Go take a pee, maybe. Have a pee. You know, since we're talking like grown-ups today, have a pee. Shout out to AJ, 45 days until Harmony of the Seas. Oh, you're going to see Steph. I don't know where I got this information or what I thought I heard based on what you told me your cruise was, but it's on Scarlet Lady. Who are you going with, Steph? Are you going with a love interest? Because, you know, you are spoken for now, sort of, in a way, or you almost are. I've never been to Bermuda, PHX. That's on the list. I got to get there. '24 New Year's Eve. Wanda, I am in. Let's do it. I'm not out for 2023 New Year's Eve yet. Scott says, next up is May 15th, Celebrity Summit, Cape Liberty, 10 nights, Martha's Vineyard. Oh, you're going north. Shout out to Scott and Kara heading up north for their next cruise. Definitely get some good seafood. Tex Pepito, 79 days until the equinox. Another celebrity. Big celebrity crowd tonight. 9-ish maybe is the answer that Trev gives. That's usually what he says, right? I mean, I had a fun live tonight. Thank you so much, Wanda, for joining. I do apologize for the early mumbling, but I did have a good time, and a lot of it was because of you. We need a port breakdown of Bermuda. Sandy's the expert on Bermuda. I did put one on my website, so you could find it there, but maybe do a port profile. We'll bring Sandy in, and we'll do another Bermuda feature. Wanda says 36 days until Carnival sunrise. Tex, it was great having you here in the live. Really, really appreciate it. Steph says solo so far. Trev says, can't say when my next cruise is, sworn to secrecy. We know when your next cruise is, Trev. Don't we all know when Trevor's next cruise is? Lisa says she could be in for New Year's. Are you going to mess around, Stephanie, and turn your freaking cruise into a group cruise? Is that what's going to happen on this Virgin Voyages cruise? Bubba says New Year's Eve cruises are very expensive. Yeah, there's a reason for that. I think, in that way you get what you pay for. But being at sea in the middle of the ocean on a freaking New Year's Eve night, I can't imagine that not being a great time and worth it. I missed the August. I can't get New York comped anymore because they say I'm on the books for Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean gives me deals, so that's why they refuse my UR comped requests. Or maybe I just don't gamble enough. Anyway, all right, what we're going to do, Naughty Cruiser Pride in 31 days. That's like the Miracle. That's another outlier type of class from Carnival. You're going to have a great time, Mike, on the Carnival Pride. All right. I know, Steph, you are very popular. You're a good time. You're a party on wheels, and we're all just living in your world, enjoying it as well with you. Yeah, no, I don't knock it at all, Wanda. I'm glad she's on that wall. We need her on that wall, being a party cruiser. No knocking that hustle whatsoever. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We are going to give it up to the Ship Show. Definitely check out the Ship Show right now. They're going to be starting up soon. Not sure exactly when, but either way, it's a great time. It's a fun time. It's a great live stream. You guys are the absolute best. Boat drinks, Cones.